Hello everyone and welcome back to City Skylines and of course to the Green Cities DLC. Now, in this episode, we are maybe going to revisit some of the work that we did on the public transport system, but for the time being, I think we're going to focus on a few other things. Namely, and possibly chief amongst all of this, I am going to need to expand quite a lot because we are starting to hurt for money once again. I mean, it kind of fluctuates quite a lot, actually. Right, so over here, I'm thinking we would like some more high-density residential, somewhere in about here. We'll leave a little bit for some commercial. In fact, let's get a little bit of commercial there right now. But over here, we're going to go with low density. There we are. As I mentioned, I want to use the high density in this area sparingly. We mostly want to have the residential of the low density variety just moving around here. Possibly have some high density in there as well. Maybe we'll see about that, but definitely gonna have some low density moving along here. I actually really like the way that we've got it looking at the moment, but we'll give the simulation a little bit of time to catch up with all of this and just see how it develops, and we can make our adjustments moving forward. There we are. We're back in the black or the green, as the case may be. Now, how are we doing over here? You know what? We're going to start running into a problem where we're going to need garbage collection from this side of the city, I'm really thinking. Also, being able to hook up down here would be an incredibly advantageous move for us. So I'm really thinking that we'll probably want to set that up sooner rather than later. The main thing is getting back to a place where we no longer have to worry too hard about our taxes. We got 77% average health, that's not too bad, and we've got loads of capacity on our crematoriums. Generally speaking, things aren't going too poorly there. Let's have a look here. We have got medical laboratory and cryopreservatory. I mean, maybe pay a fair bit per week, but allows living matter to be preserved. I've no real idea why we would want to build this, but maybe we'll have a look into it. Possibly getting a new fire department would make sense, though. It's starting to get to the point now where over here especially I'm thinking another fire department, or perhaps even something a little bit bigger, like a proper firehouse. Let's see, which one would I prefer of them, though? Both are fairly expensive, but if I got this there, it would give me a massive bonus, I think. No, actually, they're exactly the same. We want a fire station. We can't really afford it just yet. If we pop that there, it would actually do quite well. Be right in the middle of the city, though. Maybe actually having it on the outskirts right about there wouldn't be too bad. Or maybe even somewhere closer along here. Perhaps. But for the time being, we need to focus on other things. Now, we've got a decent little bit of commercial over there. We're starting to run into issues, though, again. And that is a little bit of a concern in terms of where we're going to put more commercial. I'm going to move you over here for now. You can just kind of sit quietly there. There we go. You can take care of all of that. Now, I'm thinking, whilst this is going to continue growing out as a residential area, over here we can perhaps have some more commercial spreading out over on these sides. I think that wouldn't be too bad of an idea. So, with that in mind, let's start drawing this out. We'll bring these down a fair old ways, and then we'll start connecting them up in a bit more of an interesting design. I'd like to give enough room for my buildings to progress on that side. Let's bring it down a little bit more. There we are. That's a bit better. Sure. We'll bring this along there. Down on this side, actually we could just connect it up here, which isn't strictly a bad idea. Now, if we actually do this, we will be able to hook up the freight, which is going to make a big difference for us. At least in terms of the freight trying to get out onto the streets. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay down some roads. We want something that looks at least a bit more interesting than what we've got just here. And I will bring you back when I'm done with that. Alright, I'm fairly happy with the layout as we have it right now. But there's one thing I would really like to change. And that is having a much higher capacity road going right down this center area here. Now that's going to cause me a little bit of issue with this, I think. But we could see our way through this. Most of our buildings here can afford to move one back. I'd have to adjust the path, but it is something that we can do. And that would give us a much, much stronger road moving through. And ultimately, I would like this road to sweep up and connect down there. So it's going to involve a bit of an adjustment down here. Because honestly, I was kind of planning to have it connect up there. But then I realized just how awesome this road is for what I have planned. So, a little bit of a redesign in order. So let's get to work with that, shall we? Let's go ahead and remove some of these paths. There we go. And then we'll replace them. Sure, let's bring that across from... actually, let's try and make that work a little bit better, shall we? Something like this, maybe? This one might want us to be a little bit more... might want to be a little bit more finicky, unfortunately. Can we not connect up there? I'll just have to do. Right, can we get this down there without destroying that? We can. Fantastic. That's what we want to see. Though I don't feel that this... yeah, they're just basically turning around there. That won't do. No, not even slightly. Right, I'm going to need to turn off road guidelines. Otherwise, this just won't work. There we are. That connects up there. In fact, let me see if I can force it to straight up connect. Can I? Yes, I can. Marvelous. That's exactly what we needed. Right, down here, a little bit more finicky, unfortunately. Always going to be the way, though. So we want this coming all the way down, I'm going to say, and then, nope, from here, all the way up. There we are. That gives us our connection. And then, well, we're going to have to adjust you slightly, aren't we? Something like that? Not quite what we want. Let's just delete that little bit there. There we go. This is very important, you know. Our city thrives on these little details. There we are. Marvelous. Okay, so when we pop this down, a couple of buildings are gonna break down and be quite unhappy with what we've done. And I am sorry about that. Truly, I am. But it's in the name of progress. Damn it. That doesn't make it any better for the shops, I don't think. But shh. Let's just hope. Now, another thing, a couple of people have said, actually, while I remember it, do we have bus lanes on these roads? We don't. We do have bus lanes on these particular roads, but we don't actually use them that aggressively for our buses. Maybe we should build this one with a mind toward that. We could do. Yeah, alright, let's have a quick look. Let's pop this one all the way through. So we're upgrading these roads. I know, it super sucks because you're gonna have to... oh no, really? Oh, that's not good. That is super not good. Alright, I was really hoping that would just work straight out of the box. Alright, well, there's a couple of things we can do to fix that. Don't you fret. Not even slightly. Can we not? Oh, right, you haven't moved back, that's right. There we go. We will want these to be offices, though. So that's... oh, actually, no. We want these to be low-density commercial right there. Alright. So we're going to have to outlay a little bit of cash here to get these to move. That is unfortunate, but it's the way it's going to have to be. Let's move our police station down and then move you along as well. Can we move? Oh, thank goodness. I was a little bit concerned that maybe this would be a case of... no, that's not how this is going to work. There we are. Make sure everything is still turned on. It is. It is. Now that this band is super popular... actually, I'm going to drop a little bit down to about there. we're going to have the main act nester carrying most of the money there. That should help out a wee bit. Right, okay, so let's see if that was enough. It was indeed enough. Happy days are these. There we go, and that was a lot easier than I was expecting it to be. I'll be perfectly honest with you, I really wasn't expecting it to be that easy. That being said, we've lost a couple of our paths. I almost missed it. Didn't though, so it's fine. There we go. We want straight lines. Straight line. No, okay. Straight line. There we go. And a straight line over there as well. There we are. Marvellous. It'll look lovely. Look lovely, I think. Now, down around here, I actually want that road to continue and meet up with this one. Like so. Now, this way, we should be able to have some high capacity roads moving through. Let's start as we mean to go on, though, and change junctions. Don't want these. No. I always do that with that open. So, junctions, no. Turn those off. I would actually like this road to be a high priority road. Can I make it a high priority? Yes, I can. So, there we are. That should have affected all of the junctions. Yes. Brilliant. No. No there either. There we go. So our buses will be able to use this road quite aggressively. I'm actually going to change those a little bit. Well, no, I do want the buses to be able to come out there. There we are. That'll help a little bit. We could, in fact, have this just connect up there if we really wanted to, and that way the buses would most likely just leave the station, head up there, and then down. Maybe. Because we have the buses come back through here. It might be better to have them moving along there. For the time being... Yeah, you know what? We'll continue with that. We will actually bring this down all the way. It's going to upset a few of the streets there. And certainly having those traffic lights there, not great, I don't think. There we are. We'll see if we need them, ultimately. So let me make sure that road is down there. Good. Right, how are we going to adjust up here, though? Now, this is a little bit more of a complicated adjustment. Again, because I just totally didn't plan for this road to be coming through here. Perhaps we could do something around here, though. Okay, over here, I think we're going to have a little bit of a block, kind of like a high street, but not quite there. And I think that will be fine. Honestly, let's give some sort of rear access to any freight that wants to get in here as well. Let's have that curve there, and this one here. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, there we go. And the freight can just directly access then Skaven Heights. That is going to make this road significantly more valuable for our freight, I think. Significantly more valuable. Let's go ahead and just connect that up down here. In fact, yes, this is the one we want. We want the two-way highway. Just hooking up there, honestly. There we go. That should be marvelous. I approve. All right, so we are now going to be able to start expanding out our commercial. Let me just make sure that my adjustment of the roads has not affected the pipes. No, it hasn't. That is always nice to see. We will, however, need to bring a pylon over, I'm thinking. Possibly. It depends a little bit. I'll plan for it for now. There we go. Right, so we want a wee bit of commercial. And by a wee bit, I really mean quite a lot of commercial. Let's be perfectly honest here. We've got a very high demand. That being said, I'm going to start off with plenty of low density commercial around here, actually. Just because I feel that we haven't really had enough of it in this large area. That being said, let's go for something a little bit in the middle here. That's for yeah. We'll have some high density right in the middle of the low density there, just because I think it'll look nice. And the same down here. We don't want to quite reach that street because I really don't want that to be built off this particular route. There we are. Let's speed things up and see how all of these start to develop. If they develop at all, we're actually losing quite a lot of people right now. It's because we lost these buildings, no doubt. I'm afraid gonna need to chop those off right there. Sorry. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks a lot. I may need to drop the money that we're putting into our concerts at the moment. I'm really thinking that would probably be wise. The popularity is super high. I'm actually going to drop this for now. We're going to hope that you can bring your popularity up simply based on... In fact, we're going to drop the ticket prices just a little bit. We're going to hope you have got enough ability now to carry the concerts yourselves. And with that, let's see how we're continuing to develop over here. Not too bad, I must say. Not too bad. Power, we might need to expand a little bit into that. But there we go, look at that. So much more money. We've got a couple of places popping up now. Oh, they actually connected by themselves. Never mind that, we don't need these. Goodbye. There we go. That should be alright. Now, I'm actually quite interested in looking into trams. A lot of people seemed very, very eager to see how trams would work going into this. And I must confess, I don't have anything against that idea, actually. I think it might be pretty cool. Right, what's the hold up here? Why is everything so slow? No, it seems alright now. Okay, well, slowly and little by little, we're going to start seeing these develop. I am really, really interested in running this bus lane right through here. Maybe even straight up and connect there. That would afford us quite a lot of traffic potential through that area. We're seeing a couple of the freight trucks heading in this direction. Actually, no, I'm seeing more cars heading in this direction. That's interesting. Can I bring up the route there? No, trucks are using it quite heavily, actually. We've got a couple of private vehicles, not too many though. And generally, it's the ones heading down from here. I see. Not too many of those, though, I'm noticing, which is good to see. We aren't seeing too many of these private vehicles moving down there. That's good, because I would generally prefer them not to. Now, that being said, let's have a look into trams. Now, I've not looked at trams or anything like that. We could do a metro. Now, a metro would have staggering capacity, which would be quite nice. We could drop it off at both bus stations and maybe even continue on over to Fairview Heights, honestly. That might not be a bad idea, but we'd have to cross the water, which is always a tricky proposition. But a metro over here might not be too bad. Honestly, Fairview Heights is getting so big that this could possibly even deal with its own bus station, especially as we build out our industrial. But there is no desire for industrial right now. Our city really doesn't want any industry. And that is both good and it is kind of a little bit bad. I'm not sure what to make of that right now. But at some point, I'm going to have to start upgrading these locations into green residences. That is going to hit us a bit when that starts happening. That being said, okay, we've finished expanding out the commercial over here. Now, this was initially going to be residential, but honestly, it seems that we've got quite the demand for commercial, so why don't we meet that demand? Let's go ahead and fill that out. We will, however, have just a couple of small commercial there. We'll also go heavy commercial here, and not all the way around this time. Let's only go part of the way. There we go. Something along these lines I think would do a little bit better. We'll slowly build this up, I think. I'm not too keen on all the cars parking here, though, in a commercial area. Let's give you something nice. Let's give you some tree-lined streets. There we are. I'll make these little high streets really quite swanky. There we go. Something along those lines. Very nice indeed. And let's actually have a look at the happiness of my citizens right now. Oh, wow. My citizens are, as much as I'm worrying about the city, I am worrying, and it's like, oh, the city's going terrible. Look at this. They're ecstatic. My citizens love me. This is glorious. I have got nothing to fear, except, you know, my poor city planning. But at the very least, I'm not going to be caged in my mayoral offices with angry mobs outside with pitchforks. They'll probably just be really guilty. They'll be like, oh well, you know, the city sucks, so you're gonna have to leave the office. But we really like you. We brought you. Look, this is a going away gift. I know it didn't work out, but you're a really nice guy, actually. So we had a bit of a whip round. We were all poor because you didn't give us any jobs, but yeah, we managed to do that. In fact, you know, we baked some home cooked goods. We wish you the best in your next job. Just don't be a mayor. Hopefully we'll never get to that point, but at the moment, you know, I have high hopes that at the very least, it's going to be an amicable split. Let's check on healthcare. Healthcare is doing well. It's up to 78. I really would like to try and push it a little bit more, though. Do we have little things that we can do? There's nothing little that we can do, really. What about leisure, though? That one's going to be one that catches me, I think. There we go. Yeah. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Fairview needs something. That being said, Fairview can have a few things. Let's have a look. Tourism and leisure. Yeah, I've got a fishing pier. Doesn't cost too much. A long pier with spots for recreational fishing. I think this would be nice. I think this would be very nice. Just down here. Maybe even one or two of them. How is the water running? The water's reasonably good by this point. Yeah, okay, you know what? I've been wanting to put this down for so long. Right, let's pop this one right in the middle there. Pump. Now, what do you need? Or do you just flat out work? Because if that is the case... Oh, glorious it is. This is amazing. Let's give you a wee path all the way up here. Something a little bit simple like that. We'll have a couple of these paths around here. Maybe another one. Just sweeping down. Just sweeping down like this, I think. And sure, this one can kind of meet up, maybe. Can we get it to kind of meet? Oh, well, we'll have to do that. But that's good. Oh, it does need road access. Oh, that is my hopes and dreams shattered. Well, dread. Oh, well. It will, however, be this kind of road. We're not going to do away with that idea. There we go. We'll have you just sort of built up. Really? It's kind of annoying, really. I'll be honest with you. Let's turn this off. Can I... Do I need to build it off this? Because it didn't seem to care. Huh? There we go. I suppose not. We can... Okay, let's try and make this a little bit better. Something like that. Connected. There we are. Okay, that works. Doesn't seem... Oh, it actually does have power. That's good. So we've got a little fishing pier. Hopefully they enjoy it. We've already got some anglers out there. Oh, that's marvellous. I'm very, very happy with this. Visitors last week. Well, one. Hopefully more visitors show up. Not as keen on that, I'll be honest. But let's get a couple of other leisure facilities that make use of this glorious river we've got. So we've got a fishing pier. Fishing tours. Organised fishing tours run year-round. Excursions include all necessary equipment as well as all the necessary licenses. Jet ski rental? No. Marina. There's a speciality designed harbour with moorings for pleasure yachts and small boats. Restaurant pier. Ooh, I quite like this one. Yeah, how about that? Right, maybe you could use some of the fresh fish we had as well. Well, we're going to need to continue on this road before we do that. So I'm unfortunately going to need to get rid of this while we just have a look into setting this up. So let's get this path. We'll bring it on just a little bit. Actually, let's turn on the grids. Oops. There we go. Something like that. And then just sweep you up around there. And... No, we need to turn this off again now. There. That should work out. It's not ideal, honestly, though. In fact, it's so not ideal, I'm not going to use it. Right, let's continue on, though. But I would like a restaurant here. Let's pop you just about there. Pop it a little bit over here. Can we rotate this in some way? Can we rotate? No, that is not what I meant to do. Go away. Yes, I could have moved it. Alright, let's I guess this one's going to angle itself however it wants. There we go. Alright, so after a little bit of finicky looking around, we've managed to set that one in the correct place. We've got beach volleyball court. Wouldn't mind popping this one down somewhere. Maybe we're at the edge over here. We'll see. And we've got riding stables. That's not going to be one we're using. Maybe fishing tours could happen a little ways over here. I think that might be quite nice. And so we'll have this swoop down like so. And let's pop in some fishing tours as well. Right about there. Perfect. I hope, you know, Fairview Heights has a lot of anglers because, you know, I'm kind of only catering for them right now, but it should be fine. I think it should be fine. There we go. Have a couple of nice walks. Just connect that up there. It didn't quite look right, though. There we are. They can get a little bit more of a path down to the beach. And this one. Again, a little bit more of a path down to the beach. And a sweep back there. Okay, that looks lovely, I think. Looks absolutely lovely. Right, so you got a couple... Ooh, you actually need some water. Well, of course, you're a restaurant. That shouldn't surprise me too much. There we are. That'll help out a little bit there. Give people a couple of nice things that they can do around the beach. Maybe over here we'll have some volleyball or something similar. There, I'm quite happy with that. We should also give the non-anglers here other things they can do. We could give basketball court, tennis court. I like the idea of having some tennis going on. What we got over there? It's a little Japanese garden. Let's pop a tennis court somewhere in here. Let's not put it too close to the main roads, though. Otherwise, I'm going to be a bit paranoid that ball's going to go over the road. A child's going to run out and try to get it, and I just don't want that on my conscience. So let's grab you. Yeah, sure. We'll bring this up along here. We want it to be a straight road, so that we can build a tennis court off it. Right. So let's go and grab that. There we go. Something really nice there. That should start helping. There we are. We're starting to see a bit of a change now. This is good. We can have a little plaza down here, perhaps. Not super keen on that one. Perhaps a bouncy castle park. I like the idea of that, actually. Let's get a tiny... We're not exactly doing amazing in terms of our money right now, but I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit more. Get a little bouncy castle park in there. Ideally, not without destroying... Oh, we're going to have to destroy one or two things. But there we go. They've got a lot of leisure activities now. They're going to like me even more. They're going to be even less likely to just throw me out of my ear when I inevitably fail. Oh, this is good. Planning for the future, I am. Mine, specifically. Up here, everything seems generally okay. You've actually got a tiny little house. Oh, that's brilliant. That is actually glorious. We could have some other things in there, like paths and the like, and I think that would be lovely. By and large, I'm fairly happy with what we've just done. Maybe at some point we'll grab a couple of nice asset packs, pop down some lighting and that sort of thing. I would like some trees, but I don't want them on this side. I want these trees and large bushes to just kind of dot this side of the road, just going around. Maybe a large rock as well. There we are. And just drop a couple of small rocks around as well, just to make it look like it actually fits in there. We don't want it to feel lonely. Everything has to have a little friend. Trees, rocks, clouds, fish, people. People is a little bit more complicated and also a little bit more sad because of it being more complicated. But I choose to believe. I choose to believe that we all deserve and will have at least one little friend. Right, okay, so our commercial district doing quite well for itself. Good. That means that we can place down a couple more residentials. And I would like only a few more high-rises right in there, but that is it for the high-rises in this particular district. Everything else now should be low density. There we are, let's get all of that built up nice And quickly. There we go. And that's going to be the end to that. Do we need any other services here? I don't think so. We are really fluctuating with the money, though. Really fluctuating. When's the next concert? Is the concert on? There might be soon. Let's have a look. We're actually quite far out. No, there's not going to be one on for a little while. Late next year, actually. Well, it depends on which way you write your dates. Months, then days, or days, then months. Which is the way that it makes sense to me. From smallest to largest unit of measure. But I do understand that having the month before the days does have a fairly solid reason. And that is because depending on the month, the amount of days changes. So, but still. Right, hopefully popularity starting to wane a little bit. Starting to wane quite a lot, actually. Ouch. Maybe the ad campaign really is the best one to go for. But I'm afraid we're going to have to wait on that. We're also going to pull down the money on security as well. Don't need it to be quite that high. Ticket sales, not actually that bad. The problem is the expenses are fairly hefty per week, and I'm not sure that these certainly don't do it per week. Visitors, though, not too bad. What can we do? Oh, my lord! I didn't mean to! I didn't touch anything. Except all the things that I touched. On the plus side, though, wow, you are so lucky. The timing there. Enjoy, I suppose. Oh, drat. I upgraded that a little bit too early. Oh well, I'm going to increase this now. Having slightly higher ticket prices actually does increase the popularity of the show. But we can now have 500 people there. Let's hope that we can get up to that sort of number. But yeah, enjoy. Oops, that was a big mistake on my part. What kind of things we got here? We've got light commercial, so let's pop down a little bit more light commercial. Hopefully the university students enjoy that, though. Right, down here, we still need quite a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that down, but we're going to get a couple of light commercial just kind of nestled in there. We're not going to have them running along this street, though. I'm still fairly keen on avoiding that wherever possible. Along this one, I don't actually mind as much, frankly, because this is they're going to be having quite a few buses along here. So let's go ahead and just draw this out. There we are. And then we can fill in as well. There we go. And when we have these little places, I think the smaller density commercial makes a little bit more sense in those locations. Definitely around here, I don't want anyone parking. So let's upgrade this particular street. There we go. People should be fairly happy. We could drastically improve their happiness by having bus stops around here. But for the time being, I think we're just going to stick with what we've got right now. So there we are. That should help out a fair bit. Power, doing okay. Water, actually doing okay. Surprisingly. Surprisingly doing all right. Don't need any healthcare down here. And our healthcare over here is... honestly, it's doing all right. We might need a little bit more somewhere in here. Let's see. What options we got? We've got a sauna, and I think we've already got one in this district, in fact. Sports hall and gymnasium cost way too much, unfortunately. The yoga garden also costs an enormous amount. Being said, it's a fairly small structure. And we're making a lot of taxes right now. So, how about... sure, we're going to pop in a yoga garden right there. That should really please our residents over here. There we are. Whenever I've got money, I want to spend it on improving the lives of my residents. And that is something I've said probably naively. In fact, definitely naively. Quite a lot of my friends who are landlords have told me, yeah, this dream of yours, I don't think it's going to happen the way you think. But my dream, my X many year plan, I have no idea how long it'll take. But YouTube money into property, try and get some student, like, cheap accommodation around university, because we've all been there, and it sucks when you've got this terrible, tiny little pokey place. You're paying the moon on a stick to live there because it's right next to the uni. And the landlords don't care, and the place hasn't like even been looked at by maintenance for several decades, much less years. I just want to be able to make a nice place that people can live and actually do well in their studies. It's not even about making money. I'm fairly certain I would make money, though. Wow, that was actually quite bad, but at least our fire brigade were able to do that. But that's why I'm trying to make this place quite nice for the students. With that being said, maybe getting some extra areas to live around here would not be a bad idea. Might do that, actually. Now, one thing I'm concerned about is, do we really have many commercial that are heavily built up in this area? I don't think we do. No, by having the Radiant Gardens commercial policy, we just don't have built up commercial. I may have to pull that away from here, so I'm afraid Radiant Gardens actually going to have to get drawn back a little bit. We want some high density commercial in here. We really do. Let's draw that back so at least these commercial buildings can get a little bit bigger. It's a bit of a shame, but I understand why. It makes a lot of sense in a way. Right, those are also high density. These ones, we're just going to replace them. Womp womp. There we go. And in fact, these ones, womp womp. YouTube, come on. There we go. These can remain low. Well, actually, let's get rid of you. Don't want you there. Or you. But these can be high density. I'm happy with that for now. But we're not going to be able to easily set that up over here. I wouldn't have minded it, actually, if we had like a little district running along there. Maybe I should change my plans and have this be some residential. Just get rid of the high density. In fact, we don't really need that high density commercial there anymore. Huh. I'm formulating a plan. Dangerous, I know, but it's happening anyway. Okay. I think this may work. Sure. We're going to go for high density over here. High density residential. There we are. And in fact, we're going to make it eco-friendly. I'm really liking this idea, actually. Super liking it. Wait. No, actually, they are going to be apartments. And in my plan, I've got a really fleshed out plan for what I want to do if I ever get to the point where I have enough money to start investing in property. And I would like to get like townhouses, like start around the big university cities. Just get homes multiple occupancy, not small flats, because you can't really improve them too much, other than just making them affordable. But I'd go for homes of multiple occupancy. But instead of like taking a 3-bed townhouse and turning it into like a 5 or 6 bed student apartment, I'd aim for like maybe a 4-bed thing. Have a nice living room, have a nice kitchen, couple of bathrooms, and you know, have different things. Maybe loft conversion. Oh, it's gonna be grand. It's gonna be amazing. I hope. If I don't go bankrupt, that is a very real possibility considering my plans. Nevertheless, I will accept this bankruptcy. It'll be fine. I'll earn in karma what I don't in money. I think if I ever actually get money, my accountant's just gonna hate me. It's like, why do you make my job so hard? Why can't you just be like all of the other people who've got money and just actually make more money with it? Why do you have to throw it away? Right, let's actually make this into a district then. All of this planning, and none of it is currently going into actually doing anything good with it. There we go. Chestnut Park. I like it. I like it. Ooh. Of course. The amazing park. Self-sufficient, please. Also, I would like you to be organic and local produce. There we are. It's going to be lovely. Tourism specialization. Really? Ooh. No, I don't think so. Not over there. But I might actually set this place up as tourism specialization. Oh, maybe. I don't know. We could possibly go with another area in here that would be tourism specialization. That might not be too bad. Because from what I understand, what I've been told is that you can, in fact, have high-density commercial in tourism specialization. Oh, I like this plan. The plans are making themselves, and I think the plans are good. There we go. Those are always the best plans. The ones that make themselves and don't do a bad job of it, like I would. Yeah. I think back here, yeah, we've mostly got offices back here, so that's not a biggie. But in here, tourism specialization, please, around the the cargo. Yeah, that probably wasn't the best idea, actually. Maybe I should switch this one to passengers. Because tourism specialization. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. This city is evolving. What started out as a freight cargo, a freight train facility, much like actually quite a lot of the train stations where I grew up, because in Wales it was the coal mines for a long time. There was a train station almost in every town because coal. Wales is basically lots of lumps of coal that look like hills covered in grass. And so there was train stations everywhere. And then coal started not being a thing as much. And so they all just became passenger stations. So that's kind of what's happening here. Yes, sorry, has to go. Has to be done. I know people are going to be kind of unhappy about that one. But let's go for train and passenger station. Ah, scallywags. It's a little bit off. That's going to be expensive. That's going to be very expensive, actually. Alright. Let's drag this back a little bit. And we would like you to head down. Let's go for this. 1, 2, 3. Let's try and draw you back a little bit so it doesn't affect the trains, but the... in fact, let's turn this off, just so that the train station doesn't affect the buildings that I've already got. But that isn't right on the train station, because it looks a little bit janky when that's the case. Let's turn up, and then... there we go. It's a little bit of a curve there, but it should be fine. There we are. That will be lovely. How's the concert going? Let's have a look. Not bad, actually. Not bad. What are our ticket prices? 10k. It's not terrible, actually. It's not terrible. And the popularity is going up. I like it. I like it a lot. Nesta, once again. Not our headline band anymore, though. Not quite. Not sure we're ever going to be able to expand into this. Conditions: 18 concerts played, 16 of 18. Band popularity, at least 85, 71 of 85. One sold-out concert. Done. Oh, marvelous. Maybe we can, in fact, upgrade to that. But how are we going to even fit that in? What will it destroy in order to be fit in? Probably all of these things will go. Well, that's actually pretty cool. Okay, we've got a couple of nice, big old hotels here for all of our tourists, which we probably don't have too many of just yet, but we'll see. How are all these buildings? They haven't got all of their greenery yet, but it's going to be lovely down here. It really will. It's going to be amazing. We are now actually looking for more as a medium demand for industry or offices. Okay. Have you got any insight for me? In the last city I lived in, we had a devastating earthquake. I hope it doesn't happen here. My favorite city. Oh, thank you. What a lovely day for a walk in the park with the tourists. I love this city. Tourism specialization. There's a weird smell. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you were talking about at all. Okay, well, let's have a quick glance in here. Looks like, yeah, we don't have much commercial demand right now. But perhaps we can do a few things in here just to make the tourists happy. So let's have a look down here. Tourism. Do we have anything particular? No, riding stable is not it. Do we have anything that is not water-based? I mean, I do have a skate park, I guess. I could pop a skate park in there. Not sure that's quite what we're looking for, though. I guess I could pop one down here. Sure, go on then. Let's get that going. But other than that, let's have a look at some of the plazas. A little bit big for what we want. That said, pop that one down there. I'll make for a couple of nice things there. A great plaza for going out and eating or just for hanging out. Plazas I always think of as being more for commercial than residential, though. Whether that's true or not, I couldn't tell you at the moment. But I love how these is. This is a small park. No, it's not. It's gigantic. That being said, I really would like another park around here, so sure, we'll pop that one in there. That is a small playground. Oh, right. Well, you know what? Sure. It's not like families aren't going to come into this awesome, amazing city. So they'll have children. They'll need somewhere nearby to put the children. If we could get a creche and a park and nursery or something around the university, that would encourage any young parents to be able to continue their education without worry and without feeling that they're neglecting their children. I think that's incredibly important. On that note, though, we're not going to put any down here for now. We'll see how this goes. We are still filthy rich, which is grand. I think the last thing we're going to do in this episode, which has run on way longer than I expected, is to pop down the last couple of houses back over here. We're not going to put anything there. That'll be reserved for special services, as will these. I do want a little bit of commercial there, though. In fact, let's get rid of this one, and we're going to connect these up by paths. There we go, and we'll, oops, let's bring that back up. Sure, let's turn on all the guides, and then, actually that may have been a mistake, because now I can't put anything anywhere without connecting to everything else. Yeah, let's turn all the guides back off, and just run these wherever I really feel they should be running. There we go. It's nice and easy. And yeah, I think we've had a fairly successful episode, actually. I'm really happy with how much we've managed to upgrade the city here. I think it's doing quite well for itself. In the next episode, we're going to be connecting this up to the highway. I think that is a really, really obviously worthwhile thing to do. And it looks like, if I'm not mistaken... well, actually, everything is burning. That is kind of terrible. But it looks like we no longer need workers. Now, that to me tells me I'm not doing enough for education. Yeah, 22% of the population uneducated. And it's not actually as bad as I was expecting it, to be perfectly honest. That isn't as bad as I expected it at all. It still frustrates me a little bit, the idea that... someone has to be uneducated to want to work at a farm. No, they just have to appreciate working at a farm. Just the idea that these jobs, yeah, they're just for people who don't know better. No, they're just for people who would actually like to work those jobs. I mean, maybe there's some truth to it. I'm not really sure. Maybe I'm a bit too idealistic, but oh well. The city centre now is really starting to look amazing, though, glowing in the night. Over here, not as much, because the buildings, the high density residential, the eco-friendly version, don't actually use too many lights. Not too many. A couple here and there, but mostly we see offices around here that are particularly bright. And that makes a lot of sense, but that just glows. I like it a lot. But that's going to be it for us. We've done quite a lot of upgrading. We've got a massive new residential area. We've started to build out a smaller residential area, but it is focusing on the eco-friendly policies and also just more commercial in general. We've got finally our tourist traps. We've got our hotels. We've got a passenger rail service that's bringing tourists into the city, and we've also expanded out our concert hall. I am super happy with what we've done, and I'm looking forward to what we manage to do in the next episode. Hope you are as well. But until then, and as ever, do take care, everyone.